Hello interwebs and welcome to S.P.L.U.S.H, the Human Revolution. This is our second versus video. It's going to be a versus that I have been looking forward to for a long time. Samus Aran of Metroid versus Master Chief of Halo. Yeah, we went there. Okay, so before I get started, I break this down into 5 categories basically. You got speed, strength, defense, intelligence, and skill. There's a 6th category, which is special abilities or items, and with these two, that's probably the biggest category. So, sometimes it's irrelevant, but for this, it's kind of important. So, anyway, speed. They're both about normal human-ish speed most of the time. However, Samus has, depending on which game you play, she has several abilities that can boost her speed. For example, in Morph Ball mode, she has what is called the Boost Ball, which allows her to spin, basically like Sonic. And in Super Metroid, she has this ability which enables her to sprint at super high speed. Other than that, she moves like an athletic human. Master Chief has incredibly good reflexes, but he moves like a normal human. I mean, he run, jump, etc. about normal speeds, not anything super fancy. He does have a couple of things he can do to overcome that. I mean, there are vehicles, there's things like that, but just his own personal speed is more or less normal, and same goes for Samus. So they're about normal human speed. But Samus has a couple of little power-ups that could help make the edge sometimes. So we'll give that category to her. Next is strength. Samus doesn't ever really perform a feat of strength with her suit because that's not how she fights. Master Chief, however, does a lot of epic cinematic feats of strength, and while you could probably argue that Samus is capable of feats of strength because of her super suit and her DNA and blah blah blah, she doesn't do it, so we're not going to count it. So basically, Master Chief wins that category of strength. As far as durability goes, Master Chief is not as durable. And I'll tell you why. He has regenerating. Well, it's a little bit hard because Master Chief has regenerating energy shield thing, but it's not as high capacity. So if it goes out all the way, he's done. And in a fast-paced combat with someone that's equivalent power, more or less, regenerative shields are not really useful because you won't have enough time to hide. Also, Samus has expansions on her life up to like 20, I think, is the max in one of the Prime games. So there's a lot of extra health she can have that Master Chief doesn't have access to. And again, you could argue the feats in the cinematics, but cinematics and gameplay are clearly separated in Halo. So his feats in cinematics do not affect his actual abilities because, yeah, he survived a fall from orbit, but if you jump off a 12-foot ledge, you die. So, yeah, I'm going to go with gameplay on this one, and gameplay-wise, Samus has way better survivability. Then we come to intelligence, and Samus wins, hands down, because Master Chief is tactical, he's smart, but he's military trained. He's trained to think like a soldier, to follow orders, to do what he's told, and do it over and over again. Now, he does break this formula a few times, but overall, he's a squad leader. He's not the overall tactician. He's not the guy that makes all the decisions. He's not a solo soldier. He receives orders and he follows them. Samus, on the other hand, is a freelance bounty hunter. She does what she wants, and and her game is all about solving puzzles. I mean, Halo doesn't have any puzzle solving. It's an FPS, plain and simple. But Metroid, tons of puzzles, tons of back and forth, and use this power up to open this door, and etc. etc. That plus she has the scan ability, which can instantly tell anything about any creature, and several alternate visor modes that help her see things that Master Chief can't see her skeletal structure, but she can see his. So she's smart enough. She can look in there and see, oh, he has a fracture in his knee. Boom, exploit that. Anyway, not to say that he has a fractured knee, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't. But just saying. Then you come to the next category, which is combat skill. Now, there's not a whole lot of hand-to-hand combat going on with either of these guys because they're, shooters. However, as far as skill goes, I'd have to give it to Samus. And the reason is simply she's more experienced. Yes, Master Chief defeated all three of these massive alien hordes and blah blah blah, but that's three. Samus has like 17. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but she went to Zebes to destroy the space pirates, conquered them easily. She left, went to that other place to wipe out the Metroids. Boom, done. The last remaining Metroid got hijacked and taken by the remaining space pirates, who have more or less revived their planet. Okay, I'll go blow it up so they can never get back ever again. And then, I mean, really, she's just bossed her way through, and that's just the first 3 games. She bosses her way through multiple planets in every game. I mean, there's just, and there are something like 8 games, maybe more than that. So Samus has more experience, and as far as the actual abilities of each person when it comes to combat, they're pretty even. I mean, they both have enhanced reactions because of their suit. But if you're going to go down that road, Samus has access to a lot more weapons, and they're built in. Master Chief can carry 2 weapons and maybe pick up something he finds to replace one, but he doesn't have a built-in weapon like Samus does. And Samus has not just one built-in weapon in her arm cannon, but 4 per game in the Prime series, and a bunch more in the earlier games, and yeah, she has more experience, more abilities there. So far, the 5 basic categories we have: speed, Samus; strength, Master Chief; intelligence, durability, Samus by a little bit, not by a whole lot. Intelligence, again, Samus, but not by a whole lot. I mean, it'd be pretty close. And number 5, combat skill, goes to Samus because she's slightly more experienced. And I say slightly because the timeline of the games and whether or not they all fall together is very undetermined. So she's probably a lot more experienced if all the games count into the same timeline. If not, then we have no idea. What else? Also, the last category, which is their special powers, their equipment. Like I said, Samus has abilities that can make her run faster. She can roll into a ball to minimize her target, and as she's a ball, she can roll around real fast and avoid fire. She has missiles. She has multiple forms of energy-based blast, heat, cold, something called the power beam, an energy-based wave beam, etc., etc. There's a plasma beam. There's a bunch of different beams. She has multiple visors, one for scanning, one for x-raying, one for heat vision, one for seeing invisible crap, the echo vision thing. And I mean, there's multiple ways she can look at you besides just the normal combat. Master Chief, on the other hand, he has one combat visor, which basically just displays his abilities, like his health bar and whatnot. He can carry two weapons, but that's about it. And I mean, the two weapons can be whatever, but he's not likely to go in with Covenant weapons and then, you know, he always starts out with human weapons, which are kind of subpar anyway. Really, it's not much of a contest in this category. Yes, he has this thing where his suit reacts to his thoughts rather than his actions, but so does Samus, according to her synopsis. Yeah, he has this super powerful suit that can withstand a lot of damage, but so does she. And I mean, when you're against someone that has pretty much the same abilities as you, but a couple of better ones, well. So, in my opinion, if the two of them were to somehow fight on, well, virtually any planet, because they're both planet hoppers, then it would end up being a victory for Samus. Now, if you're going to compare them in their vehicles, because Samus has her own ship, and she can sometimes get the assistance of the Galactic Federation, depending on the game and how friendly she is with them at the time. Um, Master Chief has a number of different land and air vehicles, and also the support of his, of the military unit that is sponsoring him. I mean, they're not going to let him die. Well, actually, they will because he's just a soldier, but, you know. But we're not going to get into that because it's too much extra. So, based on their own personal merits, their abilities, etc., I'd say that Master Chief only wins one of the categories. I mean, you could argue that he's more durable because he can regenerate his health more easily, but I'd say quantity is more preferable in this scenario. So, Samus wins. V for the sploosh, everybody.